Hi, how's it going today? I'm glad you're here. Feeling a little mellow. So today I thought I'd concentrate on working internally with parts. We're coming up onto the holidays, so next week kind of kicks off that family time or the lack of family time, if you will. It depends on where you are in your life and what your experience is. But the holidays can trigger so many things within us. They activate a lot of feelings, whether it's past traumas, poor relationships, things that were forgotten, lost, what could have been, what never was, or maybe all the bad things that have happened. So it's just a package deal of emotion. There's a lot of joy there too, and connection that accompanies the holidays. But I really wanted to focus on, the darker side of the holidays. I know I was thinking a lot. I just went out of town. I visited an uncle who has been diagnosed with Parkinson's and is on the decline. So it was kind of a bittersweet connection, yet kind of a saying goodbye moment, which a lot of families have. And as we step into the holidays, and we are really, the holidays are kind of packaged as this joyful family time where we all connect and gather and celebrate. But there's a lot there that under the surface, or there can be a lot there that is not necessarily comfortable, right? So, working with the uncomfortable part of the holidays. So, I also, in a later video, I'm going to address if you are dealing with addictions, whether it be food or drinking or drugs or whatever, the substance of choice. I don't mean to be flippant about it. I just mean whatever your drug of choice, um, how to navigate the holidays and either stay sober or harm reduction, right? How to not fall into the pit of full on addiction. Or if you do, how to have compassion and forgiveness for yourself. And that will be a later video. Because holidays, like I said, there's a lot of good with the holidays, and then there's a lot of uncomfortable. So if we could just take a moment together, um, being here, being in your body, and just thinking, okay, next Thursday is Thanksgiving. What does that mean for you? What does that bring up for you? What is alive in you when you think about Thanksgiving, um, and gathering together? And so we're just gonna take this moment with that in kind of intention to connect to what's alive in us in this moment when we talk about Thanksgiving and gathering, and be with our body. Just I am looking down because I'm looking inward and connecting to I had this little kind of ping in my heart when I said gather. I have stuff that comes up in me that is activated for this time of year. And so as I said, Thanksgiving and gather and acknowledging that there's might be some emotional tenderness there, vulnerability there. I could feel it in my heart. So I want you to ask yourself, where is this reaction alive in you? What part of your body are you feeling it in? Did you get a lump in your throat or a tightness in your chest? Or maybe you felt really expansive, right? But I don't think you'd be watching this video if you have sheer joy when it comes to holidays. This is for the folks that, just being real, that may not feel that sheer joy with the holidays. And so connecting to that part of you that really responded. Where is it located in your body? What kind of energy does it have around it? Is it tight? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it numb? Does it feel like a void? Or does it feel like a bundle of energy? If you can put your hand on that space, like I feel mine right here, right in my chest. Yeah, taking a breath. I've done a lot of work here, so that touch, when I touch that spot, my parts know they're not alone, right? This is where I want you to get to, where you can just put a hand on your body to remind yourself you're not alone, to let that part know you're not alone. How do you feel towards this part of you? And that might sound odd to ask that question, but this energy, like for instance, I have this energy in my chest, it feels tight, it's heavy. I feel warm towards it. I understand it's a vulnerable part of me. It has something to say, but you might not feel that. You might not be accustomed to it. You might be terrified of it. You might feel anxiety right now just trying to not feel it. You might dissociate. You might just all of a sudden go numb, blank. I feel nothing, right? And it's okay where you are. Just recognize your reaction to sitting with this uncomfortable feeling when you talk about Thanksgiving and gathering. Maybe you have a sense of the age of this part. You know, sometimes it just feels like, God, I feel like a little kid again, or I feel like I'm a teenager, or there's a really clear memory of a specific Thanksgiving and you're a certain age. Use that information that is coming to you in this moment, and we'll just give it age to this part. And then we want to ask, what does this part need for me to know? What is it trying to tell me? It was almost like my body when I heard gather Thanksgiving, it kind of winced. You know, it's like, oof, you know. And what was your reaction? What is it trying to tell you? Is it trying to make space like this is bad association or it's really intense energy? Just breathe into it. Whatever information it gives you and what you can hear. And then the next question is really, well, it's not really a question. It's just identifying your response to this feeling place. If you dissociated, like I said, or had anxiety, then, you know, there's not a healthy relationship there. It's okay. It might be new, it might be habit of just protecting yourself from that uncomfortable feeling. But in the work that I'm hopefully helping you understand and teach you or educate you on is that it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to develop a relationship with these parts of ourselves to understand what they're trying to tell us. And by sitting with it and understanding our relationship to it, we can understand how we engage with these parts and how they show up in our personality, in our actions, in our behaviors, in our thoughts, right? How we see ourselves, how we see the world, how we see others. Really important. I think we asked what does it need from you, and you might not know, or you might know very clearly what it's asking of you. And I'm curious if you can feel the emotion that's attached with this part. Is there fear? Is there anger? Is there disgust? If you're feeling anxiety or shame, get a little curious. Are those blocking you from feeling the real feeling? Because those can be such, we call them inhibitory emotions. They can be so overwhelming to the system that they're actually hiding a bigger, more uncomfortable feeling. They might be your experience altogether. That might be the true experience, but just curious. Is this the actual, am I really feeling shame or am I just, I'm afraid. I'm like so afraid. And it's easier just to identify with shame and be kind of caught up in I'm bad versus this fear. It feels so big inside. Because these feelings, if you've never done this work, if you never sat with your parts, they are formed when you're very young. And so the feeling place is a just like a child where they get flooded with that emotion and the emotions feel so, 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 so big. You experience that. It's like you're experiencing it for the first time again. Right? Make that face because it can feel daunting, it can feel intimidating. But I know, and I speak this from walking the walk and talking the talk, is that over time, you do develop relationships with your parts when you do this work. And you can talk to it and be like, hey, I feel you. I understand this deep fear that comes up when we associate, when we hear Thanksgiving and gathering. And it brings up all these memories and thoughts. And it's okay because now I can take care of you in a way that I could not take care of you then. I was not able to take care of you then. And you did the best you could to protect me and shut down and survive the moment. And it, had its pattern, its behavioral patterns. And I don't need those patterns anymore. I don't need to react anymore. So I can feel the feeling, identify the feeling, but my body knows that I'm taking care of it. So as soon as I feel sadness or anger or fear, it just feel it. And then it's like, okay, cool. Thank you. We're talking. And once I understand the assignment, the body, the emotion goes. It's just telling me I need to take action in some way. And then I remind it, hey, I'm safe. So this was kind of a jumbled exercise. And I think if you've watched any of the videos, you realize that I'm maybe not very polished in my delivery. And that's okay. That's who I am. Maybe someday I'll tighten it up. But really, I just want to make time to connect with whoever is watching this, whoever needs to hear this, and hope that you find a way to start down that path to connecting to yourself, to feel whole, to understand that you are okay and that you can be learn. You can learn. Maybe let's start with tolerate. You can tolerate. We'll start there. You can tolerate the uncomfortable, right? When we start to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, with recognizing that emotions are just signifying actions that we need to take to protect ourselves or to meet our needs. And we have a really well developed relationship with our inner parts, all our little parts, all our little wounds. Um, it's not as rocky, right? You can move, um, transition in and out of your internal world, external world, and um, move, I want to say with ease, but also it doesn't mean you're never going to not feel uncomfortable or scared or anxious. It just, you're quicker to recover from it. Um, and I'll be honest with you, I have moments like that at least every week where I will say or do something and be like, oh my God, what was I talking about? How come it just came out of my mouth like word salad when inside it was so articulate? I had a meeting last night, a workshop, and I asked a question, and in my head it made sense. And then the minute I spoke the words out loud, I saw the confused looks on the presenter's face. I was like, oh God, this is not coming out the way I want to. And I could feel my cheeks turn red. I could feel myself get flustered, but I let it go, like I felt a little bit of like, ugh, and embarrassment and maybe a little shame from just all the times I've done that in my life. And it was okay. I just said, whatever. I'm doing my best here. And it didn't stick, right? And that's where I want you to get to, where you can navigate these times with ease. So just a real quick recap, just taking a moment to understand and validate that we're going into the time of year where you might feel really activated by, you might know very clearly why you're activated and you might not know at all. You might be suddenly drinking more, eating more, and just thinking, well, it's around and there's parties and that's why I'm doing it. Or you might realize, like, I'm doing this to numb out, right? And that will be our next video of how to kind of address that. But just recognizing, like, you're activated and then located in your body. Hey, where am I feeling this in my body? What is it trying to tell me? Am I feeling an emotion attached to it? Am I feeling an age attached to it? Are certain thoughts, images attached to it? And then how do I feel towards this part of me that's reacting in the moment? Do I feel curious and kind and compassionate towards it? Or am I resisting with every ounce of my being? Or do I hate it? I hate it when this part shows up, right? So if you hate it and you're fighting it, just acknowledge, like, okay, I'm aware I don't get along with this part. Don't try to change anything yet. Be gentle with yourself. There's a lot going on in this world. We are not perfect. We are not meant to be perfect. Look at the world. It's not perfect, not politics. I mean, that's just a junk show. But if you really look at even nature and trees, they're not perfect. They're absolutely perfect in their imperfectness, right? They're so beautiful. Um, Everything, like right now, it's rainy and cold and everything is kind of dying and dormant, but it's gorgeous outside. The colors are incredible. So just learning to see the beauty in the imperfectness. Okay. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you can find peace in the coming weeks. I will do my best to do another video. I say best because time and scheduling is kind of hard, or can be. But I really want to do one on substance use and addiction, and just little tools to navigate this season. Okay. All right. Take care of yourself. Bye.